semi. Hopefully it scoots the heck over. We're gonna let it ride. Yeah, buddy. See, he swerved at me. Good morning, crew. How's it going? Hey, it's been super busy here in Colorado as we've gotten some cold weather here. And so I've gotten slammed at work, which of course slows down my videos. So apologize for that. But today I'm going to do a video on full self-driving version 13. Before we get version 14, I'll go ahead and show you guys what version I'm running. But how quickly have the trees changed and almost gone down here. The yellow has pretty much come and gone. There's a few left here. A little windy today on the 35. Kind of keep you up to date a little bit. This non-foundation truck that I own has been a bit of pain in my butt. I'm having some issues at the superchargers and I thought I had it fixed. They put a new computer board, ECU I believe they called it, in the charging port, new plug. I still can't keep this thing charging reliably at a supercharger, unfortunately, and I'll show a little bit of that here. Starts to go green and goes red and fails over and over again. But today I want to take you guys on a trip with the Cybertruck, with the current version that I have with version 13 FSD. I'm also having a really bad problem with this door. I think water's getting into this door. So when I open this door, and I get moisture on the windows. And yesterday I had my dog in here in dog mode, closed all the doors, and I hit lock and the mirrors didn't close. And I thought, well, that's strange. Why aren't the mirrors folding in? Why is the front light bar on? Well, turns out that if a door is open, that's what's going to happen. You're not going to have the truck actually lock, even though it makes the locking sound. That's something that Tesla should alert you in the app, that even though you've hit the lock button, there's something going on. I've been having a bit of a gripe with some of the stuff going on with Tesla and the software. You know, yesterday I was with my son at a football game coming back, and there was a Chevy EV parked in the Tesla parking area, and it had these cool lights showing it's charging, right? And it's like do 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 do. And I'm sitting here thinking, we've got these beautiful light bars. Why can't Tesla add the ability for the light bars to do something like Night Rider or something cool, right? Like just turn it on in the options if you want it. It doesn't have to be mandatory, but if you make them look really cool while they're charging, and I'm thinking Chevy's doing this. And that was the same time having all these problems charging. How embarrassing. Here's my truck next to the Chevy and this thing won't even stay charging, and he's using the charger, enjoying his time with a much bigger battery pack, and it's reliably charging. I did some research. Apparently I'm not alone on this issue with the Cybertrucks. I don't know though, but I've had this thing in the shop a lot. And I'm getting to the point now where I'm wondering if this is something I should claim as a lemon law, because when I get this door fixed, the charger fixed, and there's the moisture in the windows, my dash rattles a lot. I don't know. My first Foundation Edition truck has no issues, guys. And it's a lot newer than this truck in the sense of its build number. But this one's just seeming to have a lot of issues. I don't know. Are they major? No. There is a strange whooshing sound that I get on the dash. And that's when it's cold, and it takes it a good 10 miles or so before this strange whooshing sound goes away. And I'm trying to record it. I'm going to try to record it on this video. So hopefully I can share that with you guys on the sound that I'm getting from the dash. My other truck doesn't do this either. So I'm not sure what's going on with this non-Foundation Edition truck. But we're going to do the video today because I'm excited for version 14 FSD to come out and see the changes on the Cybertruck. I'm hoping they're huge because, as you all probably know, the Cybertruck is the one that needs the updates the most. So I'm going to go ahead and film that. I'm going to have it drive me from my house all the way to the Forks restaurant and bar. And we're going to try to do that back and see how many interventions it's going to take for me to do that. And then hopefully we'll have a comparison video in the next few weeks with the new version 14 and see how much better that is. Okay, all right, jump in, guys. Let's go. This is going to be fun. Nice and clean. Okay, because I've had this inside camera clean before. I just want to make sure that that's clean before we hit down the road. Okay, well, here we go. All right, there's our address. Okay, we got about a 26-minute drive, so we'll see how it does. I have no full self-driving yet. Okay, it's wanting me to go in reverse, which I don't want. I want forward. And I'll see at what point. Okay, it says it's available now. Let's try it. Take it out of hurry. We're going to be in standard. So the truck is not doing anything at this point. Okay, I'm going to give it a little bit of pedal. And it's really unsure of itself. When it went a little bit, I'm going to give it a little more pedal. It really wants me to tell it to go. Okay, let go of the pedal. Yeah, really unsure of itself. A little more pedal. Let's just see if it can steer through this. Okay, it is steering through this. Still having to give it some pedal. This is a steep hill. Okay, I've let off the pedal. It's attempting to go down the steep driveway and has stopped. Okay, it's turning very far left. Let's give a little pedal. It's about ready to drive off my driveway. Is it going to turn back? No. Okay, obviously this isn't working, guys, so I'll take over here. We'll see if we can get it to go. Now, I know that doesn't know, if you can see on this map, it doesn't know anything, it just knows where the main road is. So let's see if we can get it down the driveway a little bit further. And we'll engage it right down here. Okay, this will still be tricky for it. Engaged, foot's off the pedal. So the truck is making this turn. This is a tricky turn. Okay, it did the turn. Awesome. All right, a little bit of a blind corner here. I'm gonna look at my mirror out there. I typically put my turn signal on. Okay, it's putting its left turn signal on, which makes it impossible for me to see. So that would be nice if it knew how to look in the other camera, but it did make it to the road. Here we go. So I'll tell you if I do any interventions here. It's going very slow. I'll probably have to fast forward through a lot of this video, guys, because this is slow. I'm gonna have to try to put it in hurry mode, guys. This is really slow. This is a 40-mile-an-hour road. We're doing 20, and we're already really driving on the rough part of the road. So I know Dirty Tesla, he does his videos. Here's hurry mode. His kind of just cruise right down the dirt road, but if you see this, I'm almost in the ditch. Okay, it corrected a little bit there. Probably saw that little marker. Even hurry mode, I'm doing 15 miles an hour. Yeah, guys, I know we've seen Dirty Tesla's videos, and his will kind of cruise right down the dirt road. Obviously, this dirt road probably doesn't have anybody doing full self-driving but me. So it's probably because the truck has zero knowledge on this road and is trying to do it all visually from the cameras. The sun is, it's about 10 o'clock, so the sun is not directly in front of us, which does make it more difficult, but it's still beaming right down onto the cameras. It's sped up a little bit here. Zero intervention so far, but this is dangerous down here. There are big holes that I may have to take over. Okay, those are really deep, like 2 feet crevasses. There's a really big one right here that we just missed. We went to the edge of it. Left it in hurry. It does think it's 25 miles an hour here. I'm not sure exactly what the speed is here. I know it's 40 back there. Let me give you guys the version of what we're running here. Autopilot. Let's go to software. Okay, so we have full self-driving computer number 4. Watch this big rock. Whew. Within about a foot of that huge rock. Version 13.2.9. Now it wants me to put some pressure on the wheel. I'm not sure why. I'm going to keep looking forward. I got sunglasses on. Let me take those off. It's still not happy. Okay, I'm going to have to give it pressure on the wheel. Okay, so I'm not sure why. But I pulled my sunglasses off as well. We are going faster now, doing 32. And it does say that my software is up to date as of today, October 19, 2025. I want to see if you guys can hear the whooshing sounds coming from my dash. It did put us in the ditch, and I'm afraid we would have gotten an accident there. So first intervention, back on. I want you to see if you guys can hear this. It almost sounds like wind, but it's not. Okay, back to FSD. It's not that loud this morning. It is 63 degrees outside. All right, FSD engaged, hurry mode. Like I said, I'm running 13.2.9, but look how much it puts me into the ditch over here on the right, which, like I was showing you or saying before, there are some big openings in that ditch that will really just wreck you. Alright, I'm going to put my sunglasses back on. It is bright. Slowing way down for this corner. We're going painfully slow. In hurry mode. 18 miles an hour. This is 30 mile an hour listed road right here. So if you're wanting to get anywhere within a good amount of time, you're not using FSD on these roads. But this will be very interesting to see the difference between the new update and the current software that I'm running. I can hear the whooshing sound, but it's very quiet right now, but it is there. Okay, so this is my little road here, about 3.5 miles, and then we're going to get onto what I would consider a much busier dirt road, where a lot of people come and do RVing and camping and a lot more access to other roads. So, one intervention on my road. So here's somebody now coming with their RVs, or their ATVs. Okay, here we go. A little bit of squeak back there from my rooftop tent. I've tried my best to figure out what's squeaking back there, but still get a little squeak. Okay, so as you saw him flying by, we are going very slow on this road. This road people do about 60 miles an hour on, and we're doing about 21 miles an hour. I may have to pull over if anybody comes along on the road. But just a quick rant, I guess, or talk. You know, there's still a lot of misinformation about these trucks. I still run into people all the time that don't understand it. They don't know that it can lift itself up and down. They have no idea what it does. They're just very confused. Cows are kind of on their own out here. And it's still like almost every customer I run into at work, I have to explain, hey, you know, they're like, why is it so ugly? That's the first comment. And I explained to them that I believe that it wasn't designed to be ugly. I believe it was designed to be aerodynamic. Okay, we do have a truck coming. I am going to have to take over, and I'm going to pull over right here at the top of this hill. And there's just no way that I can use FSD without letting people go by at those speeds. So we're going to let him go by. There's another car coming. We're going to have to let them go by. As you can tell, this is not real usable. I got to pull way off because I kind of pulled off on a bad spot here. I don't want people to feel like they have to rush off the road. Okay. Let's see if we can get back on the road. We're going to do FSD right there. Okay, it's ready to go. But like I was saying, like they think that Elon just wanted to make an ugly truck. Like they can't think past the design. The design is like this to be aerodynamic for the range. And I love that I rarely ever, big hole in the road. See, obviously FSD is not looking out for holes in the road. But, you know, pneumatic suspension handles it better than any other truck I've ever driven. But look at my windshield. Like, there's tiny little bugs here and there, but you should see the front of my truck. The front of my truck is horrendous. Full of bugs. Okay, so it's gonna, let's say it's showing that it's maxing out. I'm gonna go ahead and roll up and see if it'll go faster. I'm gonna give it the ability to go 50 miles an hour here. So I know the new FSD doesn't allow you to control the speed with the dial. I'm hearing a lot of complaints about that, but they did add 4 different speed levels. Now this is kind of going down in the ditch a little bit, but that's normal. That's how I do it, because this road's really strange right here. But I don't know about that. Like, so now we only get to pick from 4 different levels. I mean, as long as we know one of them's like 5 over, I'm good with that, because I like to drive about 5 to 7 miles an hour over the speed limit. I don't do 10 over. I don't do 15 over. I'm definitely not doing 20 over like a lot of the Californians here do. But I'm more like the guy who's going to get the ticket and everybody else is getting away with it. So I just stick to the 5 to 7 over. So we'll see how that works when we get our new update. And I really hope Cybertruck gets it. Like, I'm wondering, how long are we going to have to wait? I know there's already been updates to the version 14 that other YouTubers are getting. Tesla doesn't give me any privileges on early releases of software. Too small of a YouTuber for that. But we're letting it go. It's painfully slow. Honestly, this is going to take quite some time if we're going to continue at 28 miles an hour. Have to kind of really watch my back here to make sure nobody flies up on us. And here comes another car, so I will have to pull over again. Now this time I'm going to let the car kind of get closer to see if the truck will speed up based on a vehicle coming up behind it. Sped up a little bit, 37. Not sure if it can see the car yet. It doesn't really give me that much vision. 38. But we are going to have to pull over here, guys, and let him by. So let's go ahead and do that now, because it's not really reacting to him. So I'm going to go ahead and put my turn signal on, take it out of FSD, and of course he'll just fly right by me. Okay, now back into FSD. Now let's see if we could give it a push, well, since we've already intervened, and try to get it up to 50. Let's see if it's going to follow a little higher rate of speed. Okay, it is. Now it's more confident. Okay, it's doing better. Here comes a semi. Hopefully it scoots the heck over. We're going to let it ride. Yeah, buddy. See, he swerved at me. Here comes a semi. Hopefully it scoots the heck over. We're going to let it ride. Yeah, buddy. See, he swerved at me. So you see how he actually swerved at me? And I had the whole thing on video, so hopefully we can figure that out later. But this is the kind of stuff that we deal with here in Colorado. He was mad because I wasn't giving enough room, so he endangered my life and basically threatened to kill me there. That's how I see that, right? So it's very hard to even do this test when you have people like that are willing to swerve at you and risk your life because you're not giving them enough space. So the whole thing is on video, I guess. It's kind of scary. I let it ride. I didn't take over. Because honestly, you know, it would have been his fault. He's just trying to scare me. That's fine, whatever. This is, I mean, we're really living in a time with a lot of angry, evil people. And Colorado has a lot of them. And I don't know, maybe it's that way a lot of the place in the country because I don't travel a lot. But it's a scary time when people, we just had an accident down at the end of this road where we're going to hit the pavement where a drunk driver hit somebody head on. Now see, it's not giving them much space at all. It really is hogging the road. That vehicle also we were very close to. And I'm just, this is a scary film that I'm doing. This is actually kind of scary for me because I'm trying not to take over. And obviously I would have been much further over on the right. But it doesn't seem to be really caring too much about other drivers. And it's actually kind of making up its own yellow lines here that don't exist at all. But you can see them here on the display. So it's slowed down a lot. Let me make sure that we're still at 50 on the limit for speed. And yeah, I'm gonna make some people mad on this video, making this video, but I'm doing this for you guys. So hopefully you can see what it's currently doing in its limitations. So now it's going very, very slow, 20 miles an hour. I'm not gonna do anything. We're gonna go with it. Let's see how it does. So, you know, yes, I would push the pedal. It would definitely be more confident. But I want to show you guys in hurry mode, this is what it's doing on this large area of this road. It thinks that it's seeing a double yellow line, which clearly there isn't one. I just hope we make it alive to our destination. Because that semi driver easily could have lost control and then just hit me on video. That would have been horrible, just to try to show you guys this. And now the truck is basically hogging the entire road, driving down the middle of it and going very slow. It's just so sad that he was willing to whip his semi at me and risk our lives when there was no need for that. There was no need for him to get that close. He was fine. This is how angry and mad people are though here, and they're willing to do that to each other. I'm really still just trying to kind of get my calmness back together after that semi came after me. That like I said, I don't understand it. I mean, I get that you might be mad because somebody's hogging the road or whatever, but does that mean you swerve at them? Does that mean you risk everybody's life to kill somebody over that one moment that you're angry, right? That you can't just drive by and just let them be, but you have to come at me and try to get as close as you possibly can to try to scare me or whatever your reasoning is. But that was absolutely ridiculous. And I don't care if I was driving that semi. I'm a professional driver. I have a CDL license, and you shouldn't be driving like that. That's absolutely uncalled for. And why are you mad at me, right? Like, because I drive an electric truck. That's part of this whole ordeal. Like, I got my hair cut the other day, and my barber, he has a Model 3. And apparently the guy that just came in before me walked in the door and said, "Hey, you got a scratch on your Model 3. So this little dangerous, it's out pretty far, about ready to hit a big rock. Yep. And it's just this, I guess, this ongoing thing, because after that customer had left, he told me that he's so tired of that comment. Apparently that's a comment he gets a lot, and I don't get that comment about, hey, you have a scratch on your Tesla. I think it's just different because I have a Cybertruck. But he was so mad after he left. He's like, I'm just so tired of it. And I am too. Like, why can't people just move on? Like, I feel like there's not enough going on in America to keep people busy and stop worrying about what car you're driving. Meanwhile, you know, they're driving vehicles that are, and I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but it's just sad. It's just sad. And like I said, I don't know if that's everywhere. You guys can comment below and let me know if you're a Cybertruck driver or a Tesla driver. Are you dealing with these comments, these hate, people always saying something? I get flipped off still all the time. I get the head shakes all the time. Now I gotta be careful here. This is kind of a blind corner. I really want to be ready to take over. I don't want to be killed making this video. So see, it's still really slow. I've got it set to 50. It's kind of doing the speed limit. This is a blind top. I'm going to be ready to take over. Okay. trying this new view with my camera on top up there, guys, so hopefully you like it. I don't have one of those big 3D cameras yet, but I could definitely invest in one. If you guys wanted me to get one of those, let me know in the comments. Okay, we got a truck coming. I'm pulling a little to the right because I definitely don't want to deal with that experience again. That was just, I'm just really nervous right now. So I just pulled a little, and it will affect the truck slightly. So I would call that a slight intervention based on how nervous I am right now with that experience. The truck is going faster now, 43 miles an hour. This is a good spot on the road where it's at now. I'm actually going to try a different way back that is another dirt road that comes across. So here's a, you know, it just drives in whatever. So obviously it's not seeing what's in the road unless it was a large object. So this is more of a normal speed on this road, 45 miles an hour. This is a good distance from the oncoming traffic. And I kind of got back over a little. That was cool. All right, we're about ready to get onto a very busy highway. This highway is where we just had a head-on collision death. And cars are coming from my left at a very high rate of speed. I'm gonna have to really keep a close eye here. There's another truck coming, and no, I'm not gonna let it go. I had to intervene there. That was dangerous. It doesn't understand that he's hauling a very heavy load at a high rate of speed. All right, I've re-engaged. I'm gonna let it go. I didn't have to do anything, hit the pedal or anything, but was not comfortable with that. All right, off and running. Now, it doesn't do that great on this road either. And just to say, it does great in town. Okay, so anywhere in town, I mean, it's almost flawless. So it's really struggling more in these areas and this road. I feel like they did some sort of background update to make it a little bit better. So right now it is really in a good spot, but usually it rides very far left, and see, it may drift that way. Yes, so now it's on the line. You can even see it on the screen. We are now crossing over onto oncoming traffic here. I'm going to have to pull to the right, guys. I had to take over. That was dangerous. And I'm sure they're mad at me and flipping me off. I'm gonna wait for the traffic to go by before I re-engage. And re-engaging, and it's heading to the left. Okay, big semi coming. I'm gonna have to pull to the right. Lots of interventions. I'm holding it to the right to keep it from riding on that line. It's just too much traffic today. All right, I'm gonna let go. We'll see how it handles the passing lane. See, it's already on the yellow again. This is dangerous. I'm pushing to the right, and it's going to get right into the passing lane. So I'm going to put my turn signal on. It's not doing anything. I'm forcing it over now. Another intervention. This is dangerous. Let's turn it back on. Heads to the left. Very nerve-wracking. My heart's kind of racing. Like I said, this is not okay, and Tesla should have called this like an emergency update to the Cybertruck and has done something. And I want y'all to see right now, we were driving in 2 lanes of traffic and it got over without a turn signal, heading way to the left again. Look at this. We have all this road and we're right next to oncoming traffic. Now I'm supposed to be turning right here. I'm on the rumbles. It's missing the right turn lane completely. Oh my goodness. What is it doing? Okay, that was very bad. Very, very bad. I didn't take over at all. This car's probably like, what is wrong with this guy? He's been drinking. We're gonna just kind of pull over into this area here. I'm taking over. We've reached, oh, it's pulling in. Okay. I'm gonna just take over because that's scary, guys. That really is scary. All right. I'm gonna pull up a little bit more once the guy goes by. We're gonna try this again. That was scary. Scary. Literally, I'm very nervous right now. All right, I'm gonna try to head back to my house, and we're gonna see how it does on this other route. Full self-driving says available. I don't see anybody behind us. I'm gonna see if it'll go. Turn signals on, wheels turning. Here comes a truck. No action. Okay, it's trying. It's doing something. It's touching the brakes. It's really thinking about it here. Okay, I think it's going. I don't see anybody behind us. Okay, there is somebody behind us now. Now, I'm sure it's got some experience on this road. I know there's quite a few Tesla owners that live up here. We're gonna give it a go. Whew. Boy, it really had a hard... Oh, and this guy behind us just pulled out in front of a truck. Like, I don't know what's gone wrong with people around here, but they don't have common sense. And there's been so many deaths and so much from it. And I'll probably go back in the video and see how many people may have flipped me off. Who knows? But here comes a truck flying up on me. I'm still going 5 over the speed limit. And I'm going to make a lot of enemies on this drive. I'm going to let him fly around me because this is the reality, right? Like, let's see what happens. Is he going to pass me? No. Speed limit just changed to 55. Truck speeding up. I was expecting him to road rage around me, but he didn't. I would expect in hurry mode we would go a little bit faster. And I want to also clarify, guys, that hurry mode, standard mode, and the other mode do not affect the way it sits in the road. Hurry mode does not mean it's going to stay to the left. It will stay in a left lane of 2 lanes, but it doesn't affect the way it travels down the single lane of the road. So I've had some commenters say, well, you haven't hurry and that's why it's on the left side of the lane. That's not true. I've done the same test in all 3 settings and it drives the same in that lane. But I will tell you, if you put it into hurry mode, like when you're on the highway, it'll just jump into the passing lane even if nobody's around you, which is really ridiculous, right? Why did we do that? It's a new pull off there. I've never seen that before. Okay. We will be turning right onto a dirt road at 1.7 miles. And I'm doing 6 over the speed limit right now. Coming into a turn here. Okay, it's doing this confidently. This is nice. This is how you should do it. Now see, I know it has more data on this road, so I would expect it to do better. This guy behind us is actually being pretty polite. Usually I would have got ripped past by now, going this speed. This is only 3 miles over the speed limit, or 2 miles over the speed limit. And I hope it takes this turn at a reasonable rate, or I'm gonna get a horn, I'm sure. I've already turned my turn signal on because I just know how people are. Here we go. I think he's probably just happy we're getting out of his way. Another truck there, and we kind of dropped into the ditch a little, but not too bad. All right, on the dirt road, 45 miles an hour, listed speed on both the road and the truck, and we are putzing along again. Very open, easily to see road. There's literally nothing in front of us, but the truck is not competent in going any faster than 26 miles an hour currently. So obviously this is really unusable, right? You would not, now if emergency situation, you can't drive for some strange reason, you could still see the road and take over, because that's part of the rules, right? This is all beta. It's not unsupervised, it is supervised FSD. Then you are responsible at any time for taking over and for anything that the truck is doing. So you really shouldn't be using this to drive home drunk or do something stupid like that, right? Now, oddly enough, it's speeding up in an area that it can't see as well as when it was on the straightaway. It is staying far to the right, coming up over the hill. That's smart. So it's very unpredictable. You would think with the longer vision, it would go faster, but it doesn't really have a rhyme or reason to its speed that I can determine. Oh, we're driving in the ditch. Now, it wasn't a bad ditch, so I did not take over, but that definitely put us in the ditch. So I think if Elon was in the truck right now, he would be pretty upset about how it's performing. I would hope he would be. And I probably need to cut that part out, because then... So I wanted to talk about something that's been happening with my channel. I tried to promote a video to see if I could get some more people to view it, and YouTube flagged it as an political advertisement. They said that I am advertising something with the elections. And I think it might have been because I said the word ELON. And because he was in part of the government, all of a sudden my channel is now a political advertising channel. Not here to advertise politics. So I had to go through weeks of appealing that decision on my channel, and during that time I noticed my views went way down. As soon as I tried to promote a video and they said that I was, trying to advertise for politics, my views crashed. So something happened in the algorithm where they're like, nope, we're not going to show Grant's videos anymore, and I had to fight it, and I finally won. And then it was strange, like they took money from another promotion that I did that didn't even run. And then they ran another promotion for the time that it was supposed to run. So they basically took twice my money for the same amount of view of the same, it was the same one I was trying to do. Okay, we're coming up to a stop sign. I don't see any traffic either way. It's turning, okay. But, so YouTube is really being strange about Tesla, and I am just sad for all of us Tesla owners that don't want to have anything to do with politics, that We're not trying to do that. But I finally got it appealed. Even though they took twice my money, now I gotta fight that. It's an ongoing deal with this channel, unfortunately, just because I love electric trucks and vehicles and cars. I think they're great. I think they're the future. I really, there's so many reasons, and you can watch my other videos on why I think that. But we have to fight through, and here comes a vehicle. I'm gonna have to pull over for this vehicle, guys. They're hauling butt. I'm gonna let them go around because they came out of nowhere. So gotta be polite or I'm gonna get some more hate. Okay, back into FSD. Like I said, I mean, look, you can see these people, they don't mess around on this road, and they'll do 60, 70 miles an hour on a 40-mile-an-hour dirt road because there's never any sheriffs. There's no police in Colorado or any sheriff funding. You know, defund the police, I guess, is the way to go in Colorado. So that's what we deal with. But, you know, these people like that. If you ask them, they'd be like, yeah, you know, F the police, F the sheriff. We want to drive as fast as we want and do whatever we want. Whatever. I mean, if that's what you want. I read an article this morning. They do cattle drives up here on many of the roads. And somebody in a black Ford F-150 plowed through the cattle drive, hit 2 horses with the truck and the mirror, and was like, just went through them, or hit the cow and then hit a horse with a rider on the horse, hit the back of his leg with the car mirror. I mean, are you for real? Like, that's what we're dealing with here, guys. People who are so impatient, they'll literally plow you over with their vehicles because they don't understand. Colorado used to be a cowboy state. And my soul and heart is cowboy. Like, that's how I am. I might not dress like a cowboy all the time. I might not ride horses all the time. I might not be a rancher, but that's my heart and soul, is what Colorado used to be. And it's just scary now when you hear of 2 people dying 2 days ago on this road right down here. My kids drive up and down these roads. You see the semi driver swerve at me because he's mad. I mean, it's a lot of scary stuff going on. And I really just don't know what to do other than talk about it and try to say, people, let's enjoy our lives. Leave a little bit earlier in the morning. Enjoy the view. You live in Colorado. Okay, here comes a car. We're plenty to the right. Looking good. I wave. I don't barely get anybody who waves at me unless I'm in a gas vehicle polluting the planet and spending a lot of money driving it, and then I'll get people who will wave at me. But in this, I don't get people who will really wave at me. They judge me. They hate me. Whatever. So for all you guys out there maybe looking at a Cybertruck, you know, I will tell you all day long that it is an awesome, amazing vehicle, but you better have a thick skin. You better be able to handle these people. Now, I did the switchbacks pretty good at a, you know, slow speed, but not crazy slow speed. But it is about, you know, I'd probably be doing the switchbacks at 35, 40 miles an hour, not in the 20s. I'm just excited for this turn in 3 miles to get off this busier road. You never know when a semi is just going to fly up over this hill right here, and you better get over, you know, or they'll come at you. Definitely does not know how to drive around potholes. So I feel like with the Tesla Vision being able to see, it should be able to, I think we need a whole different software for, well, maybe not different software, because there's even potholes on the paved roads. So it should be able to recognize like this really rough area right here and realize there's nobody in front of us or behind us. So let's go to the left and then let's get back over to the right, like in the smooth area, right? It should be able to analyze the road. And this is so basic now, guys. Like, why can't we have like integrated video with what's going on around us? Why can't we bring in some of this data of what the camera is seeing and bring it into the display? I'm sorry that this video is usually not what I do, which is really talk about all the great things that the Cybertruck does and our other vehicles, this video is really showing the limitations of what FSD is right now. But you know, think about this: Ford, Chevy, and Dodge, none of them could even drive on this road with FSD at all. They wouldn't even, the vehicle wouldn't even allow it, right? They have to be on mapped highways or roads. This wouldn't even be available. So I give props to that. Tesla is allowing us to do it, but it can be scary. And I know they want the data. Just be careful. Just be alert. If you're gonna do this, just be alert and be ready to take over at any moment, because it could make a mistake that would be detrimental. Do not get complacent. Okay, it's set to 47 miles an hour. We're doing 37 in hurry mode. Luckily, nobody behind us. My next service appointment is on November 2nd, where I'm going to have them look at the door, look at some rattles on the dash. I want them to keep the truck overnight so they can hear the whooshing sound the next day. This is a dangerous area. We're way too far to the left. Okay, I just really had to make sure because there are cars come around that very quickly. And I'm going to have them look at the door, have them look at the dash, have them look at why the truck won't charge at a supercharger, and I want them to figure out what this whooshing sound is when the truck is cold. See, now we're dangerously in the middle of the road. I'm going to pull a little to the right because they come flying around this and we could get in a head-on collision. Okay, I've had cars come right down the middle of this road at me. We were way too far over. I'd rather be alive for the next video than have anything to prove on this video to you guys. I'd rather be alive to make more videos, especially after that semi incident. But I've had quite a few issues with this particular truck. Luckily not with my other truck. And I don't drive my other truck, my service tech does. So luckily he's not having to deal with all those issues. I got like plastic rattling up in the front. It's way up here. It's not on this first section, it's on the very front section. Surprisingly, we're going faster now, 45 miles an hour. I think it's still set, yeah, 47, 48 now, because I went up one to check. Here comes a vehicle. Okay, I did feel the Cybertruck pull over a bit for that guy. But you can see how fast they're coming down this road. Accidents can happen very easily on this road, especially when it gets muddy. Big hole here, and we went through it, but wow, pretty dang smooth in the Cybertruck. Okay, so it's turning well here. Unfortunately, that video with the semi coming at me will probably not be very clear that he did that. I had another video where a gentleman swerved his Ford at us, and it just didn't show well on a video. People were actually like asking what they were looking at. So that may not show well, but I will show the semi swerving at me. Probably a lot less scary on the video when you watch it than your whole senses of you in the vehicle realizing that's happening, right? Video just does not do justice for everything, that's for sure. But we're back on my last 3 miles, 2.8 miles here to my house, and we'll see how it does on this little bit more narrow road with some big holes in it. This is more of a comfortable speed on this road. That other road, you need to go a lot faster or you're going to get run over. Ugh, went into the potholes, couldn't dodge anything. Okay, I'm gonna increase it because I noticed we were at the max of what it'll allow. So I'm gonna allow it to go up to 40 now. And it's so strange how it'll confidently go over blind areas at higher speeds than areas that are straight. Okay, we're getting very close to the right here. Might have to take over. Okay, good adjustment there. So that's a very deep hole there. I like the word crevasse. It's a very deep crevasse. A blind hill here. We're a little bit to the left. Now I know the camera has a little bit better vision than me being up a little bit higher. Okay, now this is a very dangerous corner. I've had my daughter come home crying because somebody almost ran her directly into her. So let's be very alert here because I doubt it will stay far right. Nope, it was basically down the middle of the road, which would have been very dangerous with a vehicle coming. And there's a large rock here, and then there's just not much room here, but that one was okay. But you know, we are giving this data back to Tesla so they can see how this truck performs on this road. I would say, you know, Dirty Tesla has much more of a traveled road than I think I do. This road just kind of dead ends into a no maintenance area, and then it turns into four-wheeling and kind of connects to other areas, but definitely not a road you're going to use FSD on. So hopefully they can just take this data and turn it into usable stuff that, you know, why are we driving all the way over here in the rocks? Here comes a vehicle though. Well, I'm gonna pull a little to the right. I'm gonna wave. Comes another vehicle hauling butt. I'm gonna wave. And see what I mean? How fast they came around this corner right here? I mean, if you're not ready, bam, you're getting hit, dude. These people do not care about your safety or their own. I'm always teaching my kids, stay to the right when you come up over these hills or corners because people do not pay attention. They're going way too fast. Their whole life is a big hurry for them, I guess. I don't know. Okay, we're getting close to my house, half a mile away. Big open spot here, and we are still set to 40, but it is going 33. It went faster up over blind hills than on the straightaway right here. Driving in the really rough part of the road, coming up on a 25-mile-an-hour turn, which it doesn't adjust when there are signs saying, hey, 25-mile-an-hour turn. But it did slow down a lot. It is in the middle of the road now, which I would not be comfortable with. I would still be over to the right. Now here's the entrance to my home. As you can see, it's probably just going to drive right by my driveway, and that it is. All right, so that's the end of that, guys. That was the end of that test drive. Well, as you can see, full self-driving in the Cybertruck on my dirt roads has a lot to be desired. Very nerve-wracking experience. Being a Tesla owner for many years, not as nerve-wracking as it might have been to somebody like if I said, Mom, take my truck FSD to my house. No way, right? Parts of me are saying, why would Tesla allow this truck to even drive on that road if it can't do it? That parts of me are asking that question, because obviously there could have been a very bad accident. There could have been some very bad things happening there. And the other parts of me are like, well, this is the future. We know we're pushing the beta button. We know we're supposed to be supervising. So this is how we teach these vehicles to do this. But it is scary, and you do need to let people know the limitations. And we haven't had an FSD update to the Cybertruck for months and months. They kind of got it out, did a few bugs, and that was it. And we've been dealing with this really buggy FSD, at least in my area, for quite some time. Now, like I said, if I take it in town, it does great. The roundabouts, construction, bike riders, you know, getting to point A to point B in town is 99% good. And I'm sure with version 14, it'll be even better. But up here is dangerous. It's scary, even on these highways, on 287, even on the main interstate highway, I-25 out here. It will ride left, and it's just not, it's a scary feeling. So anyway, there we go. There's version 13, the latest right now as of October, and waiting for that at 14. As soon as I get version 14, guys, I will do that same drive and we will compare. So thanks for coming along for this nerve-wracking ride. And we'll see you on the next one.